Alright, here we are with a 1943D BU roll. Looks like a nice roll. A few little spots here and there, but it is a nice BU roll of 1943D. And we're going to open this one up. Slightly historic event, because these don't come around all that often. Tough getting that last one out of the tube. H.E. Harris tube. Hate them every time. Okay, there we go. And here it is. And here we go. Love it. Jordan, first coin. Get this out of my way here. There we go. First coin up. And we may need to do just a little bit of adjusting here to get the lighting just right. Maybe it may not require it. Don't think I'm seeing anything on the mint mark area on this coin, nor on the date. These coins are a little shinier than you get out of the copper. They're a little brighter, so just a little more difficult to look at and discern little things. But this one has a normal obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick here. We will be checking the reverse on every different die as we go through. Don't want to miss anything on these. Could run into something of really nice value. So we want to be sure we're checking everything. Hello again, Mickey and Tyler, Anthony, Techstar, if you're still here, Coin Junkie, if you're still here. Okay, so this being our first coin, we have a die scratch running diagonally just above the 1 of the date. So we're going to know that die, know and remember that die. And this coin goes to Jordan. Good day, Mr. Allen. How are you? I figured 43D roll, you'd be dancing to come take a look. And guess what? I was right. Here's my second coin in this roll. And this one, hang on a second here. Yeah, it could possibly be a minor split upper serif, but it's just really so hard to see with this. The outer edge of the 3 looks like it could have a little bit of doubling, maybe. No, just not seeing it here. I would see it on the LI of Liberty, or the IB of Liberty at least, if it were something that I think I'd be able to pull out of one area. It should be in the other area too. Let's see. Not seeing anything of particular interest in most areas here. Let's check the eye real quick. That's a nifty little bump out in front of the nose. That's going to be a good marker for that one. I don't see anything on this one. So we're going to check the reverse real quick. See what the reverse has, if anything. My belly's giving me a rumble. It says, feed me, Seymour. Yeah, I have nothing on coin number 2. Let's try coin number 3 now. This one's for Carl. And Carl, what does Carl get? Not Carl gets. It's the name of an engraver, of a medallic artist. Oh, this is one with the bump out in front of the nose, so this is going to be our second die. Repeat. repeat of the second die. Let's flip it over and see if we have anything special. Anything special going on. These are nice BU coins. They're real pretty. Bright and shiny. And I got nothing there. That is coin number 3. Now let's check coin number 4. DN. Maybe we'll spend a little bit of time per coin making sure that we've got or don't got what we do or don't got. Because these can be pretty valuable if they turn out to have something on them. I see nothing in the date mint mark area on this one. There is a bit of a possible doubled eyelid up here. Let's check it real quick. Let's see. Yeah, we do have a doubled eyelid. So there is a doubled eyelid. This has got a little bump out in front of the nose, but it's not quite the same thing as that other one. The other one was a lot bigger. And what else here? That's about it. But we do have a doubled eyelid. Let's find our marker for around the date area. Got a big pickle line right up above the 9-4, but we've also got concentric die scratches all over the vest that stick out to around and to the northwest of the 1. There we go. There's a strong die scratch coming southwest out of the 1 with a parallel next to it. So that one, for DN there, coin number 4 is going to be our first die variety out of the roll. It's going to be a doubled eyelid. Here is number 5. And number 5 is no, I don't see any doubling there. It's definitely a different die. No obverse doubling here. See if I can find us a good marker. Best markers, we have a flattened mint mark, plus we have these marks out to the east of the D. Evening, Mr. Adams. So let's check the reverse on this one and see if it happens to be a double die. I have to say this is one of the first Class 6 double die reverses that I've ever seen that I'm probably not going to list. I can tell it's a Class 6, but it's just too minor. 'Tis a very minor double die reverse, but it is not enough. You get anything lower than this in condition and you just won't see it. So that's coin number 5. Let's move on to coin number 6, Sureg this time. Sureg gets our first coin that has spots on it, and he gets our first real nice double die. I think. It looks like... Is that a Class 6? I think it is. Yeah, maybe not. It may have just been the spottiness that showed that. All these milk spots on these things, very, very common. Straight out of BU rolls, very common for that to happen. Okay, I'm probably going to go with set it aside and let Eric look at it too, because it may be a double die, but I'm not really sure. So we have a die crack running across the bottom of the coat. We have a couple of nifty, slightly heavier east and west die scratches to the southeast of the D. We'll use those as our identifying marker. And Sureg picks up what could be a double die. Coin number 7 now. This one's going to go to Parvis. This coin is basically coated with the icky stuff. Parvis, I'm going to credit you out on this one. No sense in paying for a coin that's got a big Larry all over it. And it's also not an RPM or a double die. So let's check the reverse. Can't even tell what markers are on the obverse to see if we've seen this die before. We've got no doubling here on the reverse. So we're going to put this one in its flip insert. And I'm going to do a credit to Parvis on here. Please stand by. Number 574 Parvis for coin number 7. There we go. Okay, coin number 8. They got just minor whiting on them and stuff. That's one thing, but if they've got big fingerprints on them, that's a completely different story. Let's see. I didn't eat, Doug. I've got to do that after I get finished. We don't have anything here at the house. I'm going to have to go someplace for some food. Okay, we've seen this die before. This is our big old blunder out in front of the nose. Good thing my sinuses are subsiding from the lawn mowing, so getting better there. Well, it was just that first 30 minutes after I came back in from the yard. I mean, I literally came in from the yard and came straight up here and started broadcasting. My time's been cut that short and that close the last few days. All right, here's one for Frosty. And what's Frosty going to get? Well, it's a different die. It looks like it could have some doubling on the upper inside of the mint mark. It's so hard to tell. Let me zoom this in more. Oh yeah. So this is an RPM. I believe it is. You can see it right inside here. Yeah, the ghost is a very common thing. That's just part of die wear. It shows up here on the 4 as well. But what I'm talking about is, well, it's just a little bit too far over. There. What I'm talking about is this little character right here. So we're going to put that to the side. That one looks like it could definitely be an RPM. I have to readjust my lighting now. Yeah. For sure, it looks like it's probably going to be a minor RPM. Even the minor ones get listed in 43D. See, now you can see it better. Now that you know what you're looking at. See what else we have here, if anything. Sometimes you can get RPMs and double dies on the same coins. So we have to check, just to be sure, one way or the other. And we're going to check the reverse on this one too, because I'm pretty sure we haven't seen the reverse for that obverse. We have nothing on the reverse. We're going to hold that out because that D is awfully doubled looking. There's one from Mickey. Let's see what Mickey Fur gets. Same thing. Same die. You see that little mark on the inside, upper inside of the mint mark. Scratches are not evidence of die state. Die flow lines are. Scratches are only evident that they've done something to the die to try to remove some sort of mark or to wipe something away. But this stuff here is not scratches. This is dye flow. This is just natural flow of the steel molecules on the surface of the die after it's been striking a number of coins. This is die scratches. Die scratches happen at some point during the life of a die, but it doesn't give you anything about die state. This particular coin is a mid to late die state coin on the obverse. The obverse die is mid to late die state. The reverse die on this one is also mid die state. They wear a little bit differently on these steel planchets than they do on the brass or bronze planchets. And yes, the type of metal that you're striking very much makes a difference on how and how quickly your dies will wear down and deteriorate on you. Well, could we get an uglier one? I don't know. Yeah, this isn't pretty. I think on this little guy, I'm going to credit Jim and give him a credit. So we got one for Parvas and one for Jim. So far, most of the roll looks pretty good so far. This is that really, really minor double die reverse that I just can't count. Just not enough there to count it. So we're going to put Jim Fletcher on there for number 11. Now number 12 goes to Carl. This roll will take quite a bit more time than the average roll. We have... I thought we had seen this die before, but I'm not seeing any marker I'm looking for. Oof. It's got a stain on it. That's how stains show up on these coins. White cloudiness. It's got nothing going on the obverse. Let's flip it over and see what we can see. This might have actually. Yeah, it's got a split in the upper serif there. I've been watching. Good evening, Copper Owl Coins. I've been watching that upper serif on a couple of these, and I didn't really see any splits. And this one looks like it could well be split. So I think I'm going to pull this one out into the variety pile, and Eric and I'll take a look at it later. Looks like it could be. Looks like we made it. Let's see what we have on the reverse here. Somebody in particular is going to remember that pretty well because he won something nice on it. He's not even here that I can see anyway. Alright. Well, that one's for Carl. So let me put this on the variety pile. We'll take a look at it and see where the other. Here's one for Deanne. Deanne seems to have a pretty nice looking coin going here. Trying to get my lighting in just the right spot so that it doesn't impede me and I don't impede it. And no, I didn't say I peed on it. Alright, here we go. Alright, we've got that to crack on the lower bust. It's not going to be a double die at all, but we can continue to peruse this work of art because we can. Alright, that's it for that one. Let's move on and see what we get on the next coin, number 14. Mark. School's always in session, folks. Always either teaching or learning, one or the other. And I can tell you I learn just about as much as I teach. Man, I've got to get this light and everything straightened out. Not easy to do. There we go. Now we're focused. Well, focused. And we have light. And we find, well, the bubble dye. The bubble dye. So we got nothing going on here. We know this dye well. Number 15 now. Back to Jordan. Back to Jordan. Hey, this one looks different. No, we may have seen this one. Let's see. Yeah. This is the one with the doubling in the upper inside of the mint mark. You can kind of see it inside there. It's not very bright because the angles and everything, but it's there. So this one goes on the stack of goodies. I'm just adding to a single stack for the goodies. We'll have to separate them when I get there. Number 16, Taco John. And Taco John, well, he's going to get one. Not sure. It's not the same thing. It kind of spooks me a little bit, but it looks like the same thing here. There's a doubled eyelid on that one. That one, definitely a doubled eyelid. Pretty decent one. Different pattern of die scratching. This one's got a die scratch running up the shoulder. Wow. You got one die scratching, you mean cracks. You got a crack running through here. You got a crack running down here. You got one over here. Then you've got one right up here. And you've got one that runs this way. Looks like that die was about to shatter. Autofocus would probably just make us all sick because these coins are slightly tilted in different directions and everything else, and it's like, nah, that's not going to work. I'd rather have to do the focus. So let's check the reverse on this one here real quick, because I'm not sure we've seen the reverse of this particular die pair yet. Not that it really makes any difference on this one, but you never know until you look. And so we do have a doubled eyelid for Taco John. This one's going to go in the die variety list. That pile right there. And on to number 17. Number 17 now, we're talking with Anthony Arshnia. And we have, it appears to be a doubled eyelid. Same doubled eyelid we just passed by. So we're going to pick this one up and put it back in the stack there too. Actually, this is a different doubled eyelid. There's two of them like this. All right, number 18. Now see, die flow lines are something that is kind of a repeatable from die to die, so you don't use die flow lines as your markers because die flow lines can be very deceptive if you're trying to use them as markers. There are going to be a lot of different dies that are going to have those die flow lines between the 4 and 3 of the date. You want to use actual scratches or cracks, something that is on the die that is not likely to be on every die. So here's some cracks. Now these cracks are pretty good markers. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at here. I think I'm getting myself a little confused on the upper part of the D, the upper inside of the D. This has got it too, but it could just be damage to the punch. Mr. Fletcher. Nice bright coins here. There's another one that's got the doubled upper serif. Split upper serif on this one. Same as Carl's coin was. It's kind of minor, but it's there. Yeah, look how clean that is. That's nice. Must know when the dies fell apart or falls apart. Never seen a coin that showed a busted. Oh, well, it happens. I mean, I've seen some. Those are called cuds, where the die just completely chips away. Now, a busted, a shattered die, I've seen those too, but they're uncommon. Most of the time when the die shatters, something happens that lets them know, hey, this ain't normal. So they stop the presses. Something ain't right about that right there. Why don't you just stop them presses and get that coin out of there and see what's going on? There's one of our double eyelids right here. It's one of the small double eyelids, one of the minors. But minor or major league, we put them in the book because that's where they go. We know this one though, so we're not going to need to look at the reverse. I'm kind of giving the reverses a little peeky look on the way out, just to be sure that I'm not missing anything major, like a huge struck through or a lamination that goes, you know, like halfway through the coin or anything. I think actually what happens when a die shatters, when it actually breaks, see, this is the same die as Carl's because it has that line running to the southeast off the D, but I'm not really seeing the split in the upper serif that well on this one. We'll go ahead and pull it out. Anyway, let the determination be made. But yeah, I think something happens and the press basically just clogs up, or something happens and it has to stop minting coins when a die shatters. So it wouldn't be all that hard to put a feeler in there to see what kind of pressure you're minting. And when you're missing pressure, you're either missing a planch or your die has shattered. Here's coin number 22 now. Coin number 22 for Paul Hampton. Looks like we've pretty much gotten all the meat out of this particular. Now see, there's another one with the, that's got the split serif and it's got that southeast die scratch off the D. So I'm thinking we're running into this numerous different times. I'm going to find a marker and go back to the previous coin and check. Okay, so there's two little die scratches going east off the R. It's actually southeast off the R trust. So we're going to check coin number 21 here now. This is coin 22. I'm going to slide it to the side and we're going to check coin number 21 under the same lighting conditions in the same area so that we can be sure of what we're looking at here. See if we've got those same markers, and we do. So it is the same die for sure. Just that some of them, that little doubled upper serif tends to stick out, and other ones it does not. So, which means we're probably going to need to go back through the roll and look for additional examples by marker now, because the doubling itself can be very difficult to detect. Here's one for Parviz now. And I don't think we have an RPM here. So the dog comes up here, sniffs around a little bit, looks at me, looks at the chair, and decides, things are better downstairs. I just think I'll just go back downstairs. So he did. Bye-bye, birdie. It's like, wow, really? You love me that much? You come hang out for 3 seconds and decide that it's not quite 100% to your satisfaction. So instead of suffering through sitting next to me because he really likes me, he just leaves. That's dogs for you. They got the feeling for you as long as they got the feeling. You know, as long as they're getting scratched on the back or scratched behind the ear, I tell you what, they'll stick with you until dawn comes. But well, if they're in the very least bit discomforted by the idea of having to sit next to you, they most certainly will not do it. Let's see here. Well, they have, looks like a little tiny bit of a doubled eyelid there. That may or may not be. I think I'm going to hold it out and put it in the variety pile. And since I haven't or don't remember having seen this before, let's check the reverse and see perhaps if there's anything on the reverse that we need to be especially aware of. See, this one has that really minor class 6 reverse. I think this is the same die. This one's been through hell though. This coin's been through a counting wheel that brushed up against the reverse. It's got a nearly proof-like reverse. Really nice looking coin otherwise. Here's coin number 25 now, Mr. Fletcher. Right, well, already Sherman likes hanging out with Mom more because she'll feed him all kinds of crap that I won't feed him. Around me, he gets raw meat, but he only gets raw meat and dog treats. He doesn't get candy and ice cream and stuff like that. So this is our first die again. Now 26, Mr. Rizek. Let's see what he gets here. It looks like we have seen all the different dies that we're going to see. That has a interesting line running all the way through the coin. You can almost see it go all the way up past the very left edge of the O. You see it come all the way down here. It actually runs through the 1, which means that whatever happened here happened before the coin was struck. So this is not a scratch on the coin. This is die number 1 though, our first die in the roll. But this is a very interesting effect left behind. But it's our first die pair in the roll. Let me see if I can see that naked eye. No, not really. I thought maybe it would be like readily visible, but it's not. All right, Jordan up for number 27. This will be the final show of the day. As a reminder for those who were not here earlier when I said it, there will not be a reveal show tomorrow. There will not be an auction on Tuesday. I'll be doing some work recovery. There we go. So we know this die. We know what that is. We're doing some getting some work done, doing some work recovery, and then taking care of my dad who is having a medical procedure. And that's kind of the point of my trip, to go down to work with Eric a bit and take my dad to the doctor. And then I'll be coming back home. So there's another one of those that has that doubled upper inside the D. And we'll pull it out and stick it on the pile with the others. Hello, Carl. That's for coins and ghouls. So it's going to go with the other whatnots that I think might be die varieties so we can check them. There's one for Deanne now. And Deanne. That's another one of the ones that has the doubling in the upper part of the D, right up inside the upper part of the D mint mark. Now, I could be just smoking something here, and I'm seeing something that doesn't exist, and you'll all get just normal coins. But for right now, I'm going to pull those out. Looks like we might possibly have something. So Deanne gets added to that pile as well. Number 30, Mark. Definitely an original roll. We've got the same dies showing up over and over and over again. Except this particular one doesn't have a marker I can necessarily place very easily. It's got that funky die scratch, so it should have a die crack. I mean, it should have a die crack running up through the shoulder. But I don't even see it on this coin. But it's a nothing. Nothing. Coin number 31 goes to Carl. How about that, right? One for Carl. Let's see what we get. Pretty coin. Pretty BU 1943D. Man, this is immaculate pretty. It's die 1 again. Has nothing on it, but good gosh, look at the condition of that coin. That's kind of sweet. Oh, what's that? That's interesting. Might be a cut or something in the die, or a cut in the hub. It would be a cut in the hub. It looks like doubling on the back of the vest, or back of the coat. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't think it's anything. Look at the condition of this coin. Nice looking Gem BU. Nice looking coin there, Podna. So I'm pretty sure we've seen this die. But man, look how clean that coin is. The surfaces are pretty nice here. Alright, well that's Carl's. Carl got a nice one. So we get with the next one here. Coin number 32. This is for coins and ghouls. That is going to be one of our ones that has a little bit of doubling on the inside of the D. And again, we're going to hold these out. However, I'm not sure we're going to end up coming up with anything on these. Number 33 now, Doug. And we can recognize those die cracks. Which one's a double die? This one? No, not this. No doubling around the eye. Were we talking about the previous coin? Coin number 32? Nope, not that one either. Oh, Cap Morgan dollar. So this one's going to go in the normal pile. Number 34 now, Mr. Patillo. Chuck. And I have a bunch of mottled, it's like mottled spotting on this one. Yeah, it came out of the planchet wash like that. Check the reverse here and see what we have. God, look how clean that is. Got die scratches on it, but man, those die scratches look brand new. It looks like this might have been one of the first 1,000 coins struck by this die. That's what I'm saying. Clean, as in no die wear. Nice. Number 35. Move on to Eric. And Eric. That's a double eyelid right there. It's minor, but it's a double eyelid. Pull that one out. Now number 36, Mickey. Mickey. It looks like it might be a double eyelid. Nope. It's not. That's what Doug just did. Saw one he thought was a double eyelid. Number 37, Mr. Anthony. Oh, look at that. There's actually a little displacement going on that die crack at this point at the rim. That's kind of cute. That's a kind of a massive little die crack going on right there. This one represented something else too, didn't it? Is that a, yeah, it's a double eyelid. There we go. Don't you know it? That goes to Anthony. Number 38 now. Back to Eric. What is that I'm feeling along the edge of this here? A couple of rough spots right on the edge of the coin. Is that condition or what? I don't see anything. Nothing it looks like on the obverse here. I'll check the reverse of this one just to be sure. Because, well, sometimes I get a little lack of confidence, and I have to boost my confidence by actually looking at the reverse of a coin. And my confidence is back. Had nothing on it. Number 39. Coins and Ghouls. What do we have? There's that one with multiple cracks on it. I think this is one of the doubled eyelids. It is. 'Tis a minor doubled eyelid there. You can see it. And I put my finger in the way of the one light. You can see the other light shadowing it very nicely. And from that, I can see Brian now. Brian doesn't like all the doubled eyelids in 1943s because there's so damn many of them. Brian's spitting his beer out because there's so many doubled eyelids going on. Here's one of the doubled mint marks. You can see this one pretty clearly. This one's got that die scratch going to the southeast from the D. Get that up so you can see it. There it is, kind of right there. You can see that die scratch. But then the doubled serif, it's the upper serif that's doubled. And there it is. Looks pretty nice. This is a very bright coin. And so it is going to be one of our die varieties. Coin number 40. Alright, here's coin number 41. We are going to be nearly 50-50 between coins we're holding out and coins we're not. So we are having a rather successful roll in a very expensive roll, which is always a good thing. This is another one of those ones with the doubled upper serif. I need to identify this little baby. Yes, it is, Doug, isn't it? We're going to have to identify that one, so that's another die variety for you. And now number 42 goes to Paul Hampton. And Paul Hampton, let's see. It's got the doubling on the inside upper part of the mint mark. So we're going to have to carry that one over too and see if we have anything there. And if we do, then we've got a lot of them. If we don't, then there are going to be a lot of confused people getting normal coins they thought were RPMs. I'm just saying that there is a chance that could be an RPM. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it looks like it. Mark. And we'll be going over that in much greater detail. Another one of our doubled eyelids there. That's for Mark. Nice, nice. Let's take a look at number 44. Number 44 goes to Taco John. Would you know that? We have just the right number of coins in the roll. It's another one of the RPMs. You can see the die scratch going to the southeast from the mint mark area. And if I tilt it just right, you'll be able to see the doubling on the upper serif. Little notch in the corner of the upper serif. So there is that. For Taco John, let's take a look at the next coin, number 45 for Frostbite. Coin number 45 shows us that it is... this one might turn out to be normal. This might be one of the doubled eyelids. It is. Doubled eyelid. Doubled eyelid? Why do you have so many doubled eyelids in here? Well, most of the reason is because 1943 dies wore out very quickly to the extent that they were done before they were worn. And I think they probably used a large number of dies to mint the 1943 Lincolns, which was another reason why they decided to quit using that horrible steel metal that they were using, because it was actually costing them more to mint the coins than they had expected. But there's a lot of doubled eyelids known because, well, these dies didn't age very much at all. They went from really beautiful to very horrible. And they did that in a pretty quick hurry. So for a long time, they minted pretty decent looking coins, and they had a whole lot more dies. So given that, you have more of a chance of having little die varieties here and there. I think they were also rushing the process and didn't really care too much. There's another one. Little minor stuff that would come out like this. Not really even sure they were so much looking for them. Which begs to question, is this really a die variety? I mean, is this really something that they did and didn't know about? Did they know about it and didn't care? Did they just not see it? And if they just didn't see it and let it pass, then die variety it is. Here's an RPM. Another one of the little RPMs with a split upper serif. And no, boys and girls, it is not a serif. It is a serif. Proper pronunciation in the English language is definitely not serif. Let's see. Next up, this one's got a spot out there right in front of the nose. But this one is... it's one of those ones that's like really, really hard to tell if it has anything on it. So I've been calling this one a knot. It's the ant that can't. Coin 50. Last one in the roll goes to Eric. Let's see what Eric gets here. This is going to do it for me prior to my trip. This one's one of the RPMs. It's got that southeast scratch off the mint mark. Next time I come to you, I'll be coming to you from Florida. Remember, there is no reveal show tomorrow. There will be no auction on Tuesday. I will be in travel mode. And perhaps I will go live during the drive. And I'm rhyming way too much for my own level of comfort. Let's see what we ended up with here. Now, these are all, a lot of them are kind of maybes, but man, there's a lot of them. Let me count the number. One coin above half the roll. 26 varieties, 24 normals. So we have come up with a really nice roll here. All right, folks, I appreciate it. You guys have a great evening, a great night, and a great week. And I will for sure be in touch one way or another, so you'll know kind of what's going on. And that's going to do it for me. I'll talk to you later. Have a great one.